So the main animation is going to be worked through Flash. Obviously, a few main sort of things we need to know. If we want to sort of change the size of the document, modify document, and if you remember in the CS3 brief, there are different sort of sizes that we can use.
I like that size.
It's not one of the allowed sizes. I think I got that around the wrong way.
100 again.
So bear in mind, these are web banners to be used on a website. And obviously with the scenario it's about the animal shelter, but this one I'm just going to sort of draw a very generic one. Obviously with our size we can just do fit in window or show all to make sure what we see. I had a drawing that I've drawn before, I'm just going to delete that.
Man, that's a good job.
So then zoom back, show all. Now, what we get onto this is our basic canvas. So like in Photoshop, you've got layers for all the different layers you might have. So you might want to rename one
I feel wet.
to background. If you want to add a new layer, click on the page with the plus. So let's say I was just going to draw some grass on the background. I'll get the paintbrush, choose my colour. Just doing these. Okay. And sort of so on. Draw out an entire sort of diagram. Now, if you've got shapes that you want to move, every single shape that you're going to have moving needs to be on its own layer. If you put them all on the same layer, everything basically becomes a horrible mess. So I've finished my background. Obviously you probably want to do a bit more detail than that. On layer 2, I can draw directly onto the background. Let's say just draw a sun. And I've got a timeline along the bottom.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
At this stage, by default, it's set to 24 frames per second. So every 24 of these makes up to 1 second.
I know you're drinking a bad crack.
That's probably more than you need for something like this. I would suggest maybe, 10 or 15 is suitable for our web banners. You don't want to have too much. It just means a lot more drawing you might need to do. So I'm going to 15. I'm going to insert a frame. And black arrow gets the options for moving things. Note the background has disappeared because I haven't extended the background along to the same point. And if you notice, if I click and move on the 25th frame, it's also changed it on all the other frames. Now, in order to actually get something animating properly, I could manually go insert a keyframe, move it a little bit, but that is going to take ages.
Yeah.
LP.
That's how animators do it, sir. They take ages. What, you expect us to do this?
However, there is, yes, they do some parts like that. There is a way that we can actually get, for simple movements, like when something is just moving straight across the screen.
How do we make your character's legs? Because if we do that, it's going to look like he's sliding against the floor.
I will. I'm not going to get to that. Excellent question. Won't probably get to that in this video, in this sort of little session, but I will be showing you how to do that part. So I'll break it up into different little sections. So, but what we're actually wanting is the idea. What Ben was sort of actually leading to is creating what's called a symbol. In this one, I'm just going to do a symbol for the sun, and I'm just going to have it very simple. And I could do one sort of keyframe. Let's maybe have a brush that pops out.
That's it.
You're so rude.
No,
Just shut up, you keep talking.
Shut your mouth. It's that easy. That's what I'm saying.
This is going to your mum.
Definitely.
My mum's still
It's Ben
on
Clark.
I think that would
Year
be
10, he acts like he's in year 6.
So,
Really?
You're hypocrite.
You're still asking me simple instructions.
now I've just done a fairly sort of simple. Now it's just got inside the symbol. You've got a whole nother timeline. So I can have that obviously works sort of quite quickly with those three. But now, what I can do is drag the sun onto layer 2, put it in the right place. At the moment I'm only seeing frame 1, and that's what you'll sort of see by default. What I can now do is insert a keyframe, drag the sun to where I want it to finish up, and on the grey bit in the middle, right click and do what's called create a motion tween. And then on the very last frame, move it to where I want it to go, and see I've got these little dots? Each of these represents one frame. So at the moment, the sun's going in a straight line, but I could now just go and sort of drag, move these around to get the sun going on a curve. Let's bring out the background again. But if I do Control Enter, it is not actually showing for some reason.
Where's the sun gone?
It seems to have crashed on me.
Potatoes.
Oh, there we go. It was just taking a bit of time to load. Okay, there's something running on this computer that's really sort of slowing it down. But you'll notice those 3 frames that were inside that symbol
There you go, sir.
are also playing. Bit hard to see on the yellow background, but I could
Can't you turn the background blue? So
modify stage color. One thing to note about the stage color is it changes all the backgrounds.
that's
That
about.
don't look bad though. Wait, it kind of.
It can sort of look so. It will be, but you can also make a new layer and put a gradient in, so you might have it sort of changing color.
For the background.
Yeah.
That looks like kind of a violet on the ball, bro.
Okay,
Why
that's
did you use pivot?
no.
Pivot, nice.
The guy coming up again, and there goes home, and there's another guy.
How is that relevant to an
I
animal
don't
shelter?
know. The animal at
No.
the moment is not getting fed.
Right, I have a question. If we
Okay.
want an animal in it, how are we going to make its legs move?
But
Okay.
it's gonna slide across the
That's
floor.
true. That's actually true. I have a fish.